Hey, Wingapo. Let me know y'all can hear me because y'all know how I go when I'm on the stream yard. Wingapo, Campfire 10, how you doing? Let's put one in the chat. Let me know you can hear me. All right, this thing acting slow. I can't see anybody in the chat. All right, it's a couple people on. Please let me know you on in the chat. It's moving slow right now. The stuff is about to get real. Wingapo, G Major, Wingapo, Odessa, Wingapo, Chelsea. So some of y'all see what's going on. Y'all see what's going on. You said the voice is low. Is that better? Hello, Tanya. I mean Toya. Sorry, why I say Tanya? Hello, Charlene. Your first live. Hi, Dre. How you doing? Let me know if y'all can hear me because I'm about to start driving. Seems like everybody occupied today, so give people a minute to get on here. Lito Orlando. Oh, I'm good for the audio. You gotta turn it up. You're gonna have to turn the volume up because I'm using the car microphone, so y'all might not be able to hear me. But I just felt like I needed to come on today because I'm seeing a lot of foolishness out here. Right. Seeing a lot of foolishness. So people getting a little too happy about this projection. This project and projection is the right word. Because a lot of holograms and illusions going on right now. You said it sounds good? Okay, thank you, Toya. Thank you, Toya. So you'll see it. A lot of us we looking like we conspiracy theorists and all this stuff, but y'all seeing this stuff. You can clearly see what's going on here. All right, that's why it's 2020. Yeah, I have 2020 vision about what's up. In the right lane. No, I'm out of town. I'm trying to drive back. Had to go get my car service. Yeah, it's definitely really weird right now, and a lot of people have felt the vibe. So I put up the post earlier. I don't know if all y'all saw it, but it's like this stuff, and people gotta wake up. It's not even. It's past the point of waking up now. Because people who sleeping now, they just dead basically at this point. Hi, Celestine. Yes, had me fooled, but something was off. Right, and it's not even really about um the people involved because they're both politicians, right? We all know how politicians are. Politicians are like lawyers. They have to do certain things to get their way. It's a I wouldn't say narcissistic behaviors that they have to do. Maybe sociopath, sociopathic behaviors, but to get what they want, they do anything, right? They tell you anything. Like a sleazy dude, they'll tell you anything, and they be straight lying, and they with a straight face, right? They don't care, don't have any type of remorse for what they're doing. But y'all should know what's up when y'all seeing all these celebrities going crazy, which they never did before. They didn't do all this for Obama, even. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do all this for Obama. and they going crazy all on the Instagram, telling people to vote, clowning people who don't vote, praising their savior like it's their master, right? They got memes of them dancing and all or they're dancing themselves, which look crazy. One of them actresses, I think she's a comedian actress. She got a video on Instagram, her dancing like a daggone slave, looking like a mammy slave dancing about this projected election, right? Like, come on now. Okay, this is not the Super Bowl. People acting like it's the Super Bowl. What? It's political. It's politics. Nobody acts like this. Something is off. Y'all feel it. Y'all definitely feel it. Especially with somebody having a campaign slogan, the race for the souls of the nation. Souls? Huh? The soul of the nation? Are you serious? What kind of witchcraft is that shit? Stuff. I'm sorry about the cuss. But really, like, y'all ain't lit. Like, people really not paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's campaign slogan is the race for the souls of the nation, the soul of the nation. I keep saying souls, but you know what he talking about, right? Like, what in the wicked is going on? it's it's ridiculous, right? He said Kamala is red dot, right? That's why I wanted to talk about the black dot. So we know Kamala is red. She white dot and red dot. She's Caucasian on her birth certificate. That would be necromancy. That's what they doing. Sure did necromancy with some of these ballots, right? And this is not the first election that happened. So people are up in arms about certain things about the election, but this stuff has happened before, and that's why it's very odd why people are so emotional right now. All right, these people crazy out here. I'm sorry, I'm driving y'all. Somebody about to try to run me off the road. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's why it's so suspicious. Like, these celebrities didn't hype up Obama like this. They didn't do all this. Like, they crying on TV and the newscasters crying, and it's not making any sense, y'all. So in this month, like I told y'all when I talked about Halloween, the past month of October, we had the red moon, the blood moon, and we had the blue moon, right? And we saw the energies within those moons, right? No, did anybody even peep that? We had a red moon and we had a blue moon last month. So that's spiritual energy right there. Lots of spiritual energy, and the blue moon came last. Okay. So it was a war between red and blue, Bloods and Crips. A lot of stuff is Lito. Yeah, so a lot of stuff is crossing over spiritually. Okay. And you see all these days that they took to announce, and it's still not even official. They're just announcing a projection. So Trump has not succeeded, or stepped down. You know how if y'all remember how the race was with Obama versus Hillary, it was pretty close, and it could have been pushed a little longer, and Hillary succeeded to Obama. Okay, even though she could have had them keep counting the votes. So y'all see, it's not over yet. There's still some more stuff coming out, and now there's postal workers on the radio. They're on different channels on YouTube talking about seeing people change the date on the mail-in ballots, because people have mailed in things late, and they're changing the date to November 3rd. Postman got caught in California hiding ballots. Okay, so y'all see that California turns from a red state to a blue state. So a lot of the states that are turning from red states to blue states, they have these postal workers coming out talking about these shady practices. Right, dead people, but like half the people dead anyways. A lot of these living, quote unquote, breathing people. A lot of these breathing people was really dead people, or they're not even real people. They're robots at this point. You see their behavior. People acting like robots. Yes, this is the worst unprofessional election ever, ever. Even Trump, he came out there with that petty speech the other night, when they were still like counting a lot of votes in Pennsylvania. Like, why would they? And somebody wrote that. He was reading off a script, like he was reading off a page, like him and his what do they call them, speech writers, sat down and actually wrote that. So it's like they let him come on there and say these things too. It hasn't been professional, right? And then celebrities sharing these videos of Kamala Harris rapping over City Girl songs. Like, it's just so tacky. Why you got a video of Kamala Harris with City Girls talking about popping it on a handstand and all this stuff? Now, some of the stuff she might really have done in real life, but why are you putting that out there? If you hold these people with such esteem and y'all acting like y'all voted for them and y'all happy they're in office, why are y'all being disrespectful? Y'all should be treating this woman like a queen. And I don't even like Kamala Harris just because of her track record and some of the stuff that she has done, and hearing stuff from people in the Bay Area about her. But if that's y'all queen, y'all should be treating her like a queen. You shouldn't be treating her like a city girl. Right? City girls got they time and place. You know, nothing wrong with partying and dancing to city girls. But you don't have your vice president, your projected projection vice president talking about popping it on a handstand for an N-word. You know, popping it on this handstand for a nigga. Like, who does it? Like, this is the stuff that's going on with our country. And celebrity, I've seen several celebrities share the video. Okay, I can't remember the name. I'm not even gonna mention their name. Yes, Kamala Harris is not even. She's not so-called black. She's not so-called African American. Even in India, she would not be considered black. Okay, a lot of people don't know India. People from India who are dark-skinned are considered so-called melanated or black. Okay, people we definitely can see Sri Lanka and people like that are very dark-skinned. The Andaman Islands, that's considered India. Those people are blue-black. They're like literally black in color. Kamala Harris is not that, okay? Like, her father is like 1/16 or something, if that. You can't even confirm that. So, for people talking about, I mean, y'all, if y'all like her and her policies or whatever, go for her. But don't be talking about y'all voting for somebody because you think they black. She's not black. She's not from our culture. She's not from our country. She's raised in Canada. I mean, come on now. Our people got to be smarter. Our people definitely got to be smarter because they're not thinking. We looking really crazy out here because nobody came to them with any type of list of demands, the things that's going to get our vote. They thought that the vote was in the bag, and that's exactly how they behaved. All right, so is nothing going to change? Nothing's going to change. Yeah, her census record and her birth certificate says white, Caucasian. She really is a Caucasian. She got white on her birth certificate. You said Rachel Dolezal did what? Rachel Dolezal can be black, then anyone can be black. You know what? Rachel Dolezal is more part of the culture than her. For one thing, Rachel Dolezal is a collard green and cornbread eating sister. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Rachel Dolezal, she respected the culture though. She was a part of the culture. I mean, both of them with the Howard. Like Howard seems like it's a haven for these people. Howard seems like it's a haven for everybody who wants to say they black, so-called black, quote unquote. It's really sad because Howard was a prestigious school. Hey, Halito Renzo. Yeah, she's an AKA. You know they accept anybody. They really do. It's a whole bunch of AKAs. And they're in very high positions. A lot of professional women who are AKAs. There's also deltas too, but there's a lot of AKAs, and they really go hard for their people. What was that? There was one lady in Georgia, I believe she was running at one time. Forget her name, but they plastered her all everywhere, saying that she signed up 800,000 people in Georgia. She registered 800,000 people to vote. Does that even sound logical to y'all? They're saying she's the one that helped win Georgia. She won the election. Does that make any sense? You know how many people is 800,000 people? 800,000 is more than the the number in that fake slave narrative saying that the Africans were brought here. So y'all saying this woman signed up 800,000 people herself and registered them to vote? I do not believe that. I really don't. I really don't. Stacey Abrams, right? Stacey Abrams. That no, I do not believe it. Y'all believe that if you want. It don't sound right to me at all. Yeah, so people gotta be awake and looking at this stuff. A lot of this stuff is spells. A lot of this stuff is spells, and they're using these celebrities uh, to engage you into these rituals. This is a very ritualistic campaign, or whatever you want to call it, race for the presidential spot, because it's coming down to business, right? A lot of people talk about Trump being a businessman, but one thing Trump did was keep China from taking over the United States corporation. Okay, because we were getting talks since since the Obama administration about China's plans to try to buy large plots of land, and Trump kind of stopped all of that. So they were trying to buy a whole bunch of land in the Midwest. West. I think they're building factories or something out there. I don't know what they're building. But he kind of stopped a lot of those deals. Yeah, he did that exactly. And then the whole thing with the virus happened, right? Coming from China, ironically, or not ironically, and he tried to cut ties with China. So that's why, business-wise, a lot of people who buy stuff from China are having a hard time or having a longer time. Somebody text me, so, my brother, you watching the show? I think my brother watching the live. He was like, that's true. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff importing from China is having a hard time. So what that does, business wise, is open it up for American factories, for American, even people from Mexico, doing business with people on this continent, these two continents, or one super continent, whatever you want to call it. So as y'all see, the most, like the largest amount of entrepreneurs have emerged during this lockdown, and that's because of cutting these ties with China. Now, I don't personally have a problem with China or doing business with them. But if you're trying to uplift business in America, that's exactly what you do, right? National parks for sale, exactly. I think that's what they were trying to buy, Terry. I think they were trying to buy a national park, and you don't. That's really bad for business, and that's bad for national security as well. To be having, I don't know if they're still I guess they're former communist China having all this land on your land, right? So the thing is, China really wants to get a piece of our fresh water outlets, our natural resources. So that's another thing. That's why they're trying to get these parked, because the United States, which a lot of people don't know, this area has the most fresh water. That's not polluted. A lot of a lot of the fresh water, the most fresh water in the world. So we have the most rivers, and these like the ponds and the lakes are fresh water. So of course that's people want to get a piece of that. So companies that bottle water are making so much money, and they're not paying much in taxes either. So I believe a couple of years ago, a couple of those native tribes had issue. I know in Louisiana there was a tribe. They had issues with a lot of these bottled water companies who were coming onto their land and making a lot of money off it. And in turn, that they were losing access to fresh water, and just having a lot of issues dealing with the people because they were kind of harassing people who said anything about it. Right. Benita Little Owl, Megapoloid, you said underground aquifers. Yes, we also have the underground water. That's why people in the country, y'all country folks know that we have a lot of water underground. That's why we got these wells and stuff, right? So people in the country don't have sewage systems that city folks have. They have their own water wells that they get access to. And a lot of times the water is fresher, well, most of the time, is fresher than the water in the city and the suburbs. Okay? So we have a lot of underwater access. And then in other cases, the wells can be dug and they can import water into them. So if you want to be the safest, anything happens, get yourself a house in the country and have your well so you can make sure you have guaranteed to have water. Because we don't know what's coming up now. A new breed, I reposted his video. He had a lot of good information about survival. And he's more of an expert of it. I think he's former military than I am. All I know is what I know from my research, as well as my father was in the military. I lived on military bases, so I know a little bit about how they did stuff in the field. You know, but go check out that video by New Breed. It's on YouTube. So ANUBREED. It is very important information, especially for us single mothers. We need to be knowing these survival stuff. We're not gonna guarantee have a man protect our family if it's just us and our child or our children. We need to know how to survive if something happens. I mean, these hurricanes are showing folks that they need to be prepared and need to know survival. Y'all saw what happened in Hurricane Katrina and all these other hurricanes. A lot of the single mothers, they struggle, especially in Katrina. It was really bad. Okay, because people didn't have fresh water. Their houses were being robbed, women being assaulted, sexually assaulted, things like that. So you need to know survival. You need to know how to protect yourself and be prepared. Always be prepared. That's something that I learned in business. They taught us you always Be prepared. Be prepared for anything, right? Let me see if I can see y'all comments. Gio, you said you think they already did. You talking about China? Yeah. Yeah, the dollar is definitely going to crash even more, y'all. It's going to crash even more. Thank you, Flamethrower. Yeah, so it's getting real out there, y'all. And it's coming to a point now that, you know, some of these predictions that people made were true. Okay. The apocalypse and all these things. Some of the stuff is not literal. You have to read between the lines. You got to look at things metaphorically and see what they're talking about. A lot of this stuff is going down now. Okay, it's not going to get any better, to be honest. So you have to be prepared for you and your family. And that's not to be negative. That's not to think negative, because we're doing okay right now. Nobody's doing that bad, right? But you got to be spiritually prepared. That's what I'm mainly talking about. Spiritually is not going to get better. Some of us, people who are spiritually connected to the source, to the creator, we know, we can feel that stuff is not right. And we can feel that something big is about to happen. Just like a lot of us felt something before the lockdown happened. Okay, so this is the time right now to get prepared. That's all I'm saying. You see, they getting prepared in the cities. They boarding up, they boarding up businesses, and DC that definitely looking crazy. DC looking, you know, nuts right now. They're boarded up. And now they got these fools out in the street chanting and dancing, talking about you gonna lose your job and looking crazy. Y'all gonna be losing your job if you out there acting stupid and you're on TV and people gonna see that you're an extreme person. They're not gonna want to hire you. They're not gonna keep you on there. So you don't know what's gonna happen either. If somebody in the crowd, one of these paid Antifas, start throwing stuff or acting a fool, and something happens. So it's best to stay out of these crowds, no matter what you believe. I mean, if you voted for Biden or whatever, okay, cool. But why are you out in the streets partying with these unstable people? It makes us look really. It makes us look really bad. It really does. I think I'm gonna pull over here. No, I'm keep going. What'd you say? You said Trump is what the racist. Who's the racist? Who is the racist? It said homeschool, homestead, and homeschool. You know, that's what it's looking like. People, we homeschooling anyways right now. So if y'all can y'all know all the subjects, you know how to teach your children, that might be the best thing to do. Said make your own jobs. That's what I'm talking about, and that's what we saw with this lockdown. A lot of people made their own jobs, right? The most entrepreneurs, especially melanated indigenous entrepreneurs ever coming out of this lockdown, right? Let me see. I'm driving, so it's hard for me to read, and I don't have my glasses on, so it's nighttime. You said sold the U.S. Wouldn't doubt it. It's a corporation, exactly. Plus, it's been bankrupt. Resolve, resolve it, which I think is tied to the pandemic. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That is definitely tied with it because he's basically whoever. It's just not one person. When you're talking about the Trump administration, it's not just one person behind it. He's just the face But they basically were trying to flush out China. And China suffered really bad. They suffered hard. Okay, luckily some of the other countries like Europe, they weren't locked down like us. And they were still able to make money, but it's really bad. And a lot of people, if you order stuff from China, especially if you need like products, like for my business, I need like containers to put the products in. You got to order from China. That's like the only option, really. Um, Everything takes longer. So some items that used to take a couple of weeks are taking a couple of months to get. So even even the businesses are getting, they're still getting hurt from the whole dealings with China. So but the good thing about it is we need to learn independence from China. People don't need to be leaning on China like that. And I think that was the whole point. But I'm driving y'all, so my thoughts my thoughts might be a little scattered. You said you didn't vote. Why give my energy to a system that has done nothing but to destroy? Exactly. That's all they've been here since they've been occupying, since they started colonizing. It's been uh, sucking our energy. They've been stifling our energy forever. Okay. Yeah, self-sufficiency is key. They've been stifling our energy. They've taken our ancestral energy right now. That's exactly what they're trying to do with this woman. They're trying to take our ancestral energy. Like she has seriously mounted our ancestors on top of her energy to get y'all to follow her or like her or whatever. So before China, it was in America manufacturing. Exactly, and that's something that President Trump did say about America and the factories. Right, a lot of the factories shut down, and he sent the jobs to China. That's something he did bring up about it. So even with this, even if this new projection gets into office or stays in office or whatever, there still needs to be a focus on bringing back manufacturing in the USA. Manufacturing in the USA, even in Mexico. Even Mexico is considered North America. It's still not the giant. You know what I'm saying? It's still not China. Like I said, I don't really have no personal problem with China. Like as a business person, I gotta do business with China, based on the type of business that I do. But we still need to have the option to be having a lot of those things in the USA. In the world, this thing started typing for me. I didn't even type nothing. But we definitely have to do it. This show how the promised land feeds the world exactly. So if what one note this is, I'm sorry, I can't read it. I'm trying to see the road. Hold on. Let me see if I can read this. So you basically saying that, right, this is the promised land that the world heard about, right? And this is the promised land that their manifest destiny told them that they are going to conquer, that's supposed to be theirs. But we know that's not the case. It's still not theirs. They still don't own the land. They're still occupying the land. Yeah, you know what? I don't think anybody gonna talk to Ice Cube. But Ice Cube seemed like he done because he tried to tell people you need to be coming to both of the candidates, both the parties, would elicit demand, asking them what their plan is, or coming to them with the plan. And people didn't want to do that. They want to call him names and act like he sold out because he sent both of them his plan and what he wanted, and only one party responded to him. So you can't be mad at that. You said Trump trying to get home first globalization order. As a businessman, he was going against that. Right. Yep. And that should be for anything. You're supposed to get home first. Deal with home first. Every other culture deals with home first, deals with their nation, their people, their clan, their tribe, their family first. And then if you can't get it done by them, that's when you go outside. All right, the Chinese Americans, if they can't buy shoes from somebody that they know or somebody they know is Chinese, that only then is when they go buy shoes from somebody from somewhere else. Us, we don't do that. We go to other people first. And then if we do go to our own people, we complain and all these things, find something wrong with it. If you have a bad experience, they want to go put that experience everywhere dealing with their people. But nobody talk about how they treated you at this corporation you went to. You didn't make no posts about that. That's the problem we have. And of course, our people aren't business minded like we need to be. So a lot of things people are still working on business wise, especially dealing with customer service, because people are human and people they don't everyone's not trained on customer service. Okay, especially when you haven't starting a new business and nobody in your family is entrepreneurs, so people don't know, and they don't know that other cultures go to all these business classes, because I see them in these business classes. They fill up all these business classes, and then the knowledge that they earn from that business class, they teach to their family, they teach to their friends, they teach at their church or wherever they go to, Buddhist temple, I don't know. But they tell these other people, they teach everything they learn. And then if you are friends with them, even if you're not from their people, they will tell you some things, okay? I grew up in the suburbs. I've had friends international, from places. I don't have a problem with people being international or whatever. But if you're friends with them, they know you, they will tell you these things, right? If you're starting a business, they'll try to help you do it, even if they're doing the same business as you. They'll try to help you do it or refer you to different things, tell you what they did, and they don't act like crabs in the barrels, and they help you and they uplift you because you're their peoples, you're their friend, right? Our people, we don't do that. We don't do that, and that's our major problem. We are in competition with ourselves instead of with everybody else. But you don't even have to be in competition. That's the problem. You don't need to be in competition with anybody. Just focus on yourself and doing better, and then you're spreading that love to other people. They're gonna spread the love back to you. So it's about self-preservation for every ethnicity. We don't think that way. Exactly. We definitely don't. We don't think that way at all. Don't. It's dark out here. I'm in the country suburbs. It's darker. You got to put the high beams on. Y'all, some of y'all know about that. When you live out in the woods, you got to put the high beam on because you're scared you're going to hit a deer or something or a person. You don't want to do that. What's going on now? Oh my gosh, y'all. Yes, we're under a spell. We're definitely under a spell, Terry. That's what I was trying to point out with the blue and the red. People acting like gangbangers. The blue versus the red, the red moon, the blue moon, right? The people who are spiritualists or who um, know about rituals and things like that. No, the moon is very powerful, right? The moon energy. It depends on your culture, but a lot of the woodland culture, we believe the moon represents the woman, right? That would be Kamala Harris. Her energy, that locks me energy. Did I pronounce her? or Lakshmi, as some of y'all say, but Indian people say Lakshmi. They say it's funny like that. Well, they say it properly, but she's representing that energy. She's representing these Hindu gods. If people don't understand what's going on here, right? People from India, they are serious about their gods. She's not a Muslim Indian. She's a Hindu. She's a red dot. So they put a lot of energy when they need something done. They put a lot of energy to those deities, right? And Lakshmi, she's one of them that they like to feed, as they say, right? So that's why it's important, especially y'all people who are religious. If you're a Christian or a Muslim or whatever, and you don't believe in these type of gods, and you're wearing wigs and weaves, you need to be cleansing. You need to be saging these wigs and weaves because you're putting that energy on yourself that you might not want to have. Even if you are into that stuff, you still might want to cleanse it. Okay, you might have to soak it in some sage or something, cedar, put some pine needles, something in there to clean it off. You need something natural to clean the energy off of it. Or crystals. You can soak it in. You can shampoo it regular and put some crystals in the water. But you don't want that energy on it because you don't know what some of them people doing. And a lot of the hair, if y'all saw the documentary Good Hair by Chris Rock, you see a lot of that hair that you get is from India and from people, women mostly, shaving their heads and sacrificing the hair to the gods, right? And then they go and they get the hair, they pick the hair up because they're smart now. That's the smartest thing to do. There's some business people for real because that hair would have just been burnt or thrown away. They sweeping that hair up off the floor and they bagging it up and they sorting it out, shampooing it, and they sending it to your your behind. Right? They sending it over to the women over here, right? Women in Europe as well. So yeah, Palo Santo, that's the Hollywood. You can use that to cleanse as well. But I'm talking about dealing with water. So crystals are a little bit better with water or some type of loose herb that you can put in there, like a tea, right? So yeah, that's why I was saying, you can put tobacco in there, anything. It might be easier for people who, don't work with those things to just put some crystals. And then, a lot of us on the East Coast, it's like crystals just laying on the ground out here. So a little clear crystal, you just pick up a little crystal pebble off the ground and put it in that water with that hair. Because I'm telling you, some of these women acting the dang on fool with this Hindu hair in their head. Seriously. And I wear a wig and weave sometimes whenever get my hair rest. But I'm just saying, some of the energies you can tell that's not coming naturally from some of the people out there. I had no problem. I have no problem. Like I said, I wear a wig and weave sometimes. But I'm just really putting a warning about that energy because you can tell the difference. Or just wear synthetic hair because the synthetic hair is coming up. It's doing a little better. I appreciate you, Taylene. Did I say it right? Taylene, thank you for the donation. You said your family. I'm Powerton. You're my family. Oh, Halito family, Wingapo family. How you doing? Really appreciate it. You said flamethrower. You said I wore hair extensions. It's in my life twice, like braids, Savannah twist. Oh yeah, those are good. Like there's nothing wrong with that. See, that's synthetic hair. You're not wearing that the Hindu hair. Wearing synthetic. And that's good to give your hair a break and to grow your hair out too. Is really good. And that's why our ancestors wore their hair in twists and braids. It was protective style. And they could put like more, you can put more grease and stuff on your hair then too if you're braiding it up. Because you won't be walking around with your hair out and it's all greasy and limp and stuff. So when you put that hair, put the grease on, oh my God, these people drive me so crazy today. You put the grease on, especially on the ends of your hair, it protects your hair. In like in the winter time would be the most time that they would keep their hair braided too. No, and I'm not on a country gravel road. If you hear this, I'm driving over some. It says unmarked pavement. I'm in the suburbs. I'm not that country. It's not gravel road. But yeah, you said shea butter and coconut. Yeah, some of us see. I can't do. I don't know if it is. If this Powderton Remy in my hair, in my natural hair. I can't do that African shea butter and the coconut oil. Coconut oil do okay, but I can't really do shea butter in my hair. That's not good for me. I have fine hair, so if you have thick hair, it probably would be better. But I have fine hair, so it's very thin, and it's not. It don't do good with shea butter. Now I'll put shea butter on my legs or something, but I can't on my body. And it's to put it on my hair is too much. But people with thick hair, it thrives. It thrives with shea butter, especially after you already put moisturizer on it, and then you put the shea butter to seal in the moisture. Right, cocoa butter. Right, I do better with cocoa butter, to be honest. You said we really need to come together and reorganize the tribes. Well, that's what a lot of people are doing. Is really like the Powhatan people. A lot of people are finding they're connected to different tribes within the Powhatan. But the thing is, we're not making the tribes. We're not bringing back the tribes like people should be doing. Because a lot of us are related and connected. All you would need is a couple, enough people, whatever the state requirement is to be state recognized. If you want that, you don't have to do that. And just make another band, right? You see the Cherokee got like a million bands, right? They got the Eastern Cherokee, the Western Cherokee, this and that Cherokee, right? So even if you were like from Mattapanai, you see the Mattapanai. They have the Upper Mattapanai, which is it's not a real tribe, and then they have the Mattapanai. So they make two groups, two tribes out of one original tribe. And the Upper Mattapanai is mostly people from the Adams family, not not the movie Adams family, from the Adams. That surname. Most of the Upper Mattapanai, they live in Adamstown, the area out there in King William. He said cocoa. The only thing about cocoa butter is it's not as shea butter got a little bit more movement. So coconut butter gets really hard like in the winter time. That's the only thing about it. It's more solid. It's very solid. You said synthetic is designed to damage the natural hair. No, Akita is really depends on how you use the synthetic hair. If synthetic wigs not really touching your real hair. Your real hair is protected under it. But if you're doing the braids, the thing you can do is wash the hair. Even like I said with the other stuff, like soak it in some water and some apple cider vinegar to get that chemical coating off the top and let it dry, and then take it to get your hair braid or braid your own hair. If you're trying to braid the hair in, that would protect you from chemicals, and that will keep your hair nice and soft under it. And then when you have the braids in, what a lot of people don't do, they think they can just go about their business and just not do nothing. You still gotta wash your hair with the braids in. You still gotta oil your scalp. And people like me with fine hair, that's the perfect time that I can oil my scalp, because if I'm wearing my hair out, I can't oil my scalp unless I'm wearing it natural. So you would just take the oil and like but in the squeeze bottle and just squeeze down the lines and where you got your hair. How can I get tribal recognition? I just told you how to do it. That's all you gotta do. You gotta have at least 50 people from that tribe that has documented proof of being descended from only one person. They only have to descend from one person who is a member of that tribe. So you have to have the documentation of the actual tribe and their place in history, as well as documentation or the genealogy of the people of that tribe. Okay, so certain tribes will use censuses. In Virginia, some tribes have a census taken just for their tribe, for the reservation, because the reservation is, in colonial terms, is considered a territory or another county. If you look at it that way, so they have their own special census. Like the Nottoway has a census. I think the Mattapanai has a census. So a lot of people were being judged to be enrolled in these tribes if they have at least one ancestor on those rolls, those censuses. Okay. Oh, no problem, Nikita. Yeah, when I did the braids, I'm probably gonna do braids soon. That's what I do. I make sure to soak it in some warm water with some apples, like a capful. You don't even need that much. And then when it's dry, it's not really gonna smell like vinegar, and it's definitely not gonna smell like that chemical hair stuff. You're gonna be straight. G Major, you said I have been doing before and afters on my B spot. I got pictures. What do you say? You blend fine coconut butter and shea butter. You said your girlfriend calls you Mr. G Butter. That's so funny. Yeah, shea butter is, or coconut butter is the basis of a lot of hair products and skin products. So yeah, my products mainly use cocoa butter in it because I'm trying to keep it American. But I'm also gonna have shea butter for skin products as well. Um, yeah, and some of the other products. I'm probably gonna try to use it. Shea butter is very good, just the way that it absorbs in the skin, right? And then if you use a certain product in there, you're not gonna get that after grease. My only issue is when I use shea butter, just plain shea butter by itself, I get all greasy and like everything else gets greasy. I touch something, the remote control gets greasy, and I can't touch my face because if I put too much shea butter on my face, and I get acne. So it's a certain additive that you can put in there to take that grease away. You just gotta look it up. Flamethrower, you said you were part of nations. You can create a nation with 10, 12 people. Right, it depends. Yeah, 12. It depends on your state. But, that's why I say 50 people. That's probably better because then you're going to know, they're going to know for sure that this is a confirmed ancestral nation, that people actually descend from this group of people who was documented by them. Of course, they're only going to want to see documents from themselves, right? You said your tribe, Atacapa Nation, used said 1781, Atacapa post census and genealogy enrollment, no DNA. I'm sorry. Somebody was walking past. I need to lock my door. I just parked for a second. Somebody was looking shady. That's why I was breathing like that. Yes, arrowroot powder works. Yes, I didn't want to give somebody that for sure because they might prefer something else. It's more than one. It's more than one powder that you can put in it to take that greasy feeling away. Especially if you got clients from other ethnicities, they don't want to have they don't want to have greasy shea butter. They definitely don't want greasy shea butter on them, because their skin is different. Their skin is not as thick as ours texture wise, and they don't want all that grease on them. Okay, let's say Mariah Carey or something. She's lighter, but she has the thicker skin, so you know. But you gotta put you gotta put the arrowroot or I think you could use cornstarch too. I don't know if that gets gritty or not, but yeah, I use the arrowroot powder. So you have to use less of the hard butter and more of the liquid oils to blend the consistency. Right. Yeah. Yeah, depending on what you're making. If you're making like a chapstick or something, um, cocoa, yeah, more of the cocoa butter because it's gonna be solid. Definitely. Okay, peace, Jarrell. So let me talk about the black dot because before I forget. Okay, so I spoke before about the black dot. The black dot is basically spiritual. Okay, I don't want to get too hoteppy, but the black dot represents melanin, right? And it's not the same like skin color melanin. It's a different type of melanin that is related to dark matter and to the universe. Okay, they say as above, so below. So the people below have the same. Some of the people have the same dark matter from above in us, right? The people of the sun, yeah, we the sun people, we the soul people, soul brother number one, right? So that's basically what I'm talking about, the black dot. And in India, where Kamala Harris is from, they have a group of people on their what do they call it again? The caste system. I thought that was wrong, but I'm right. It's the caste system that are the black dot people. Okay, the black dot people are the indigenous original people of India in most of the cases, besides the what's that tribe called? My brain is not working right now. I think I was in that I was in that car dealership too much, all them gases and oils and smoke, whatever. But yeah, the black dot represent the indigenous people, right? Everywhere. We're called Indians over here, just like they're called Indians over there. Indians is, you know, talks about indigo, come from indigo, and it's dealing with indios as well in Spanish, which is another word for children of God or people from God, something around that line. Respect to you too, Terry. Yes, the Nagas. So it has to deal with the Nagas. That's the serpent energy. Um, we have Kukulkan over here, Kukulkan or Kukulkan, whichever way you want to say it, which is dealing with the plum feathered serpent energy. Okay, so that energy is a little bit stronger than just the plain serpent energy. Right, and Nagas are indigenous. So that whole culture is connected with over here in Mesoamerica, dealing with our people over there, the Shi people. Also dealing with people in Angkor Wat over there in Cambodia and Laos and those areas because there was a satellite people there. It's dealing with people in Egypt and all these other places as well, right? Also dealing with the Wakanda in the Plains area. So a lot of people are saying that the Plains Indians are not our people, But they originally were before they were taken over and enslaved and their land stolen. Okay, Gio, what you tripping about? Yes, we know, right? We know about the Nagas, right? So the Nagas is really about an energy. Okay, it's not directly about snake people. Snake people is a whole nother group. I'm not really going to get into any of that type of stuff. Well, I might, but I'm trying not to. But yes, the Nagas, Nagas is kinfolk, exactly. And it's really about the energy. They call it the Kundalini, with the Kundalini energy in India. We have another other names for it here, but it's dealing with that when all those when you're in balance. Okay, so we really deal with the medicine wheel here. So when you're fully in balance, you're fully balanced with the medicine wheel, then you illuminate through the black dot. Okay, and that's you. You're the black dot in the center of the medicine wheel. Y'all talking deep. Right, right. Yeah, we all are. Yeah, so basically we are the black dot, right? In all these different cultures. Okay, that's dealing with the indigenous people of the planet. Specifically talking about the black dot over here, we're in the center of the north, south, east, and west. Okay, we represent the complete balance of everything culturally, physically, spiritually, and the connection directly with the source, the great spirit, creator, energy, whatever, the universe, whatever you want to call it, the energy that keeps everything flowing and going. Okay. Now, which a lot of people don't know, some of us women know who had children. There's a lot of nerve endings in your back. Okay, let me drink something because I get parched. We about to get in here a little bit deep. So in your back, there's a lot of nerve endings. Okay, a lot. It's basically the center for all the nerves in your body that gives you energy to move, to your feeling in your body, things like that. So, when you have a child, you get epidurals, which basically blocks that kundalini, which blocks that serpent energy in your back. Okay, so your back, as you know, some people who know about anatomy, it is like a serpent. Okay, it's just more like a straight. Well, unless you got severe scoliosis, it's a straight serpent. And for women, a lot of our sexual energy is attached to your back, to the nerves in your back. Okay. Now, I don't want to give the player tips around from from growing up around friends, guy friends, but that's why they try to give them back massages to y'all ladies. You don't know. They know the secret that a lot of our sexual energy is stored in our back, especially dealing with the lower back. Okay. And that's where you usually get your epidural. So if you massage that part of the back going up your spine, it's going to release a lot of energy and it's going to put you more in balance sexually, so to speak. You said caduceus? Is that what it's called? You said facts. That's why they give epidurals. Right. They tell the women not to make any sudden moves and it could be damaging. Exactly, because they know all of our nerve endings that, you know, control our body are in our back or in our spine. And that's why you see a lot of people who get injured, like bad back injuries or accidents, dealing with their spine. That's why they're paralyzed, because a lot of those nerve endings are connected to the spine. Taylene, do you have any information on the surname Randall? Um, Check out check out my playlist for the surnames. It's you can watch all those videos. It's in there somewhere. I can't remember right now. But if you check out that playlist, I put the playlist together for y'all because a lot of people asked about the videos and it was hard for them to find everything in one place. So check out those videos. Randall's on there. It should be on one of the Carolina lists, and it should have some type of document connected to it. G Major, you said like the American Indian woman, holy of holies, within her back. Oh, you said black hole space at a young age. My serpent. What? Um, Fire transferred to the sister I was with, and we both have minds blown. Oh, okay. You talking about some tantra or something? Yeah. So all of that. You said you have chronic back pain. Yeah. So I'm not pretty sure you go to chiropractor and you see that model of the spine, and you can see it looks like a snake. Look at the snake skeleton and look at the spine. It's very similar. That's why they call the people the serpent people, the Nagas, or cuckoo cow, kundalini. You see all these similarities. Thank you, Plankton. Yeah, just send me an email if you want me to expound on it, because it kind of I can't remember what I was talking about now. Oh, we are talking about the spine. They also tell you you'll be happy you got it, which is not true. Yeah, you know what? I got it. I had C-section and I had the epidural before that because when you get in labor, some of y'all women know your back is like an intense pain, and nobody tells you this. Like, I don't understand. Like, all these billions and billions of women been pregnant, and not one of them gonna tell you your back gonna be hurting. My back was in so much pain, and I had dealt with a lot of back pain in the past. But now that I know more about the back and been doing rolling, if y'all go to the gym and stuff, they have those long rollers. Those things are, I don't know what you want to call. I can't say blessing, a blessing. Those things are amazing. So if you have back problems, that's one of the things. If it's not too severe, something good that you can use. Just put it on the floor and just roll around, and it really loosens up your back, as well as taking the hot salt baths with sea salt in it, and that will try to loosen you up as well. So listening to old, oh, that's the Earth, Wind, and Fire song. Earth, Wind, Fire. Y'all know Earth, Wind, and Fire was very conscious. You look at their album covers. They knew a lot of the secret knowledge. They really did. Yep, serpentine fire. We come from snakes. Yeah, it's really the snake energy. It's the energy that we talking about. We're not saying we reptiles and nothing like that. Right, the dragon energy, the serpent energy. Okay, there's like snake clans and stuff in the woodland. Some tribes have snake clan. Right, G. I didn't even see your comment. You're right. Your spine is a snake. It's like a snake. I didn't see that before. Yeah, Quetzalcoatl. Yeah, Quetzalcoatl is cuckoo cow. They're the same. Quetzalcoatl, I think it's just the Aztec name, and cuckoo cow, or cuckoo Khan is the Maya name for them. The Maya. Yeah, because yeah, they're all the same. Yes, the energy. Yeah, Himalaya pink salt as well as Epsom salt, right? And if you have that with use that with oil, that's even better. Some oils that have camphor in it, it helps with your back. What is another good oil? Ooh, giving away all the secrets. It's another good oil that's really good for your back. Lavender oil is pretty. If you add the essence, essential oil in it, is pretty good as well. So like that's why the husbands or the baby daddies or whatever your partner, um, should be rubbing you, massaging your back, and you prepared for labor. Once you're in that last trimester. So that's something to think about. What they don't ever tell nobody. It makes you mad. Like I was so mad. Y'all understand? Like why? I'm like, why did nobody tell me it's like this? Why nobody tell me it's like crazy? Like you have the worst cramps ever, and then your back is hurting, and then you're aggravated and all this stuff. Like why ain't nobody tell me this? Yeah, Epsom. Not Epsom. Yeah, Epsom salt, eucalyptus, sweet basil, clover, ginger, cinnamon. Right, Akita. That's good. Baking soda. Yeah, that's what they use in the bath bombs, the little bath balls. Christina, you say actual birth workers, doulas, and midwives know about the back pain, but the medical community tries hard to um, keep it away from women because we educate women about our bodies and birth, right? And that's why I'm glad now that a lot of the medical insurance companies are now trying to cover doulas and midwives, paying them, birth workers, compared to the hospitals. And that was the issue I was having. I was trying to get a doula and stuff, but my insurance didn't cover that. So I had to go to the hospital. And that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to have a natural birth with a doula. And then I ended up having an epidural and a C-section. It was a nightmare, especially when you don't have people fighting for you like you would fight. You would fight for yourself because you're in pain and distress. My husband at the time tried to, but he didn't understand what I was going through. And then I'm saying I need an epidural. He's saying no, you didn't want that, but it's like I'm in such pain, I can't even talk myself out of it. So, but just be prepared. I'm saying, yeah, no, it's okay. It came out fine though. Okay, then came out fine. Peace and blessings. You said I have a midwife. Yeah, sure. You said I have a midwife for both my natural childbirth. Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, I wish I would have had that. Everyone is used to epidural, not natural birth. That's why. Right. They don't know what to do. And they're like, I feel sorry for you. Do you want the epidural? I had like the best nurse that was with me that that first got there. She was like the best. And she was just trying to make me comfortable. So she was like, I know you didn't want it, but I gotta ask. So so I had two natural births, no epidural, back issues. And this one I had an epidural and my back is not okay. Oh, yeah, you gotta try them. See, when I got home, when I could take a bath, that's when I started doing the salt baths. It will help your back, definitely. You have back pain too? Yeah, you have both. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, and now they're pushing for that more because, of course, the hospital gets paid more, right? They get like 10,000 every C-section, so of course they're gonna push that on people. But our ancestors, we used a lot of herbs um, for the women before pregnancy, which found out later. Even though my family used those herbs all the time, but nobody told me to use it before you have a baby, right? I just tell you to use it during your cycle. I know the men are like, because we're talking about women's stuff right now, but I don't see anybody talking about these. But yeah, the cohorts. My family swears by the cohorts to ease the menstrual cycles and stuff like that. But the Algonquin people, our people, We would use it for childbirth, but you got to be careful. If you can only use it in last um, the last trimester before you're about to give birth, right? Especially if your child is past the due date, and that's going to ease the delivery. You're not going to need the epidural. You're not going to need the C-section. It's going to make the baby slide right out. And what the women used to do is they would go birth by themselves, like the Algonquin women. They would go by the river, find a tree, squat down and hold onto the tree right by the river, and that's where they would give birth. And then they'll take the baby out because it makes it easier, pop right out. And especially if you're mentally prepared. There's a whole nother stuff with the hypno babies and all these different things that you can do to prepare mentally, which is basically the stuff our ancestors did that we lost for the most part. But then, if you're by the river, they would just wash the baby off and swaddle the baby and put it on the little board, the little papoose, little papoose board, and walk home. Because they had like the herbs, they knew our medicine people just knew what to use, to heal certain things, right? And then they come home, they drink their ginger tea or whatever after they gave birth to heal some of the pain and stuff. He said okra makes the baby slip out. Oh, I didn't know that. Yes, you put the herbs. Yeah, they didn't cut no cord. They wrapped the baby with that placenta, right? And they put herbs on that placenta to keep it fresh. Different smelling and stuff like that. It keeps it fresh, it keeps it alive, keeps the blood pumping. You said you drink blue cohosh tea before I start and throughout my menstruation. And yeah, you got to be careful with these herbs, especially blue cohosh, because it's serious. It's. I will look back into it on the doses and stuff, especially on women you trying to conceive or you are pregnant. You don't want to have no cohosh until you about to deliver, because that's gonna push the baby out. It don't care what trimester you're in. It's gonna push the baby out. That's all I'm gonna say about that. You said most of us birth workers are becoming master herbalists for our people. You gotta be. And you see that a lot of the herbs ease up a lot of the pain. Yes, raspberry leaf tea, that is amazing to take during your cycle. I sell raspberry. I'm gonna start selling it on my site. I already got it bagged up. I just got to put the pictures up. Any blend with that raspberry leaf tea is amazing. They call it the women's tea. Anything with raspberry leaf. Our people, it's the native to America, it's indigenous to America only. So the raspberry leaf tea was something, especially the Algonquin medicine people would give to the women. And this is a whole nother video, y'all. If y'all want me to go into the women's stuff, I can come and do another video because I know the men like, okay, we talking about this selection, right? So I think I'm gonna do a whole nother video for the women's stuff so we can have some information because we don't see nobody talking about us, right? And what we would help us. He said out of 3 natural births, the best one was the son I birthed under hypnosis, right? The hypno babies and all that stuff. It was so peaceful. I napped for 2 hours in labor. Blessings to the mamas. Bring the wise ones here. Ain't no joke. Exactly. Exactly. The clan mothers and our medicine women, they knew all these things, right? They would teach the women about hypnosis and it's basically a form of meditation that you can put yourself in and match with the herbs. You're gonna have a pain-free birth. Like I couldn't get into the hypno babies. I got it too late. And it's another one. I don't think the hypno babies is the one I had. I had the other one. But I gave my book to one of my friends, that was also pregnant at the time. When she had her baby, she was able to go through the whole book, and she was like, her and her husband were thanking me. They're like, I didn't feel anything. It was so amazing. And then she had a quick recovery after that. So, and she was into herbs and stuff too. So I think she was taking some of the herbs. I think she was taking cohosh and herbs like that. Hibiscus, yeah. So my blend of tea that I have has the raspberry leaf, the red raspberry leaves in it, and it also has hibiscus in it. And I think I have something else. I can't remember which herb I chose to put in it. Um, the Damia, I think I did that one in there. I gotta check. But that is a good blend for women, and you, especially during your cycle, you're not gonna have all that pain. I don't have any pain at all. I don't have any cramps at all during my cycle. Too much information, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. You just got here 5 minutes ago. Yeah, I'm gonna get into the election talk, and then I'm gonna do the whole nother video for the women. My website is shenaturals.com, and right now I'm restocking. Like I said, and having issues with China with getting like certain things. Dealing with the containers, not the herbs. I don't get herbs and stuff from them. But dealing with the containers, so it's gonna be restocked pretty soon. Hopefully this weekend I can get it back restocked. So I just got some containers in. So here I'm gonna post it. I'm putting in the chat. Yes, we definitely need this information. Like I said, they're not putting a lot of this information out for the women, right? Like Queen of Fua, I think she was like one of the people that was doing it. But she's doing it from more of an Afrocentric perspective, and they're not really talking about the herbs here, which are some of the best herbs dealing with women issues, dealing with men issues. We have Maca, which is dealing with men issues. So a lot of our herbs have really been exploited by the medical industry, and they kind of been hidden as to the origins of these herbs. Okay, yeah, of course they want to keep it to themselves. It wasn't but a couple of years ago that we really was finding out about Maca, like on the hair boards and stuff. I used to be in those hair boards, child. I was one of them day ones in a lot of the natural boards. And yeah, we just started learning about Maca for hair growth and for helping you keep your curves when you work out. Okay, I have a certification in personal training. I'm gonna get back to it. I gotta lose some of this weight, but that really helps you build muscle mass as well. So for the men, it's really good for the men. It stops their hair loss. It builds muscle mass. It helps them with their men issues if they have them. If they don't have them, it's gonna be better, right? So maca is good for both men and women. That comes from America. It's only found in South America. Okay. Yeah, maca. That's it right there. Not matcha. And it doesn't really matter. I know some people might prefer the yellow. It don't matter if it's yellow, red, or black maca. It still has a good results. And it helps with your butt too. For you women trying to get bigger butts, you don't have to eat them chicken pills or whatever women in the Caribbean eat, the chicken pills. Maca, and you just put maca in your coffee, and you straight. You straight. It said matcha is great for appetite suppression. Yeah, matcha is from Japan. Right. Yeah, they're both superfoods. Both of them are superfoods. Maca is an adaptant, and what that means is it adapts to whatever you need to be fixed in your body, as well as boost your appetite if you don't eat. For those people who have problem eating, I know some people smoke, if they because they can't eat, like their appetite's not there. And then it also works as an appetite suppressant for those who want to lose weight or need to lose weight, as well as fixing other things in your body. Use Maca. Yeah, like a lot of people been quiet, like y'all quiet about Maca. And then we was on the hair boards a couple of years ago, like screaming from the rooftops about Maca, and now like Maca is so popular. But it comes from South America. It's from Peru, I believe. Yeah, the Andes. It's from the Andes Mountains. So they used it. It's actually like a root. It's more like a tubular, I guess, plant. It's really pungent taste. So it doesn't taste good. You're gonna have to put in some coffee or some applesauce or something, and but it's gonna give you an energy boost. So it's best to take it in the morning. If you having it with coffee, you're gonna be off the roof. I'm telling you, you're gonna feel like Superman, Superwoman if you have maca in your coffee. I can only do it every so often, so I'm gonna try to get back on my maca. But when I do, it's like you feel like you can float. I'm telling you, y'all. It's a hormonal balancer, right? So that's perfect. Like a lot of our people, we're hormonally imbalanced. That's why you see some people that's hypersexual, and then you have some of the other people in the other aspects of very undersexual. So it's a balancer. Period. It's an adaptant. It balances your whole body. Okay. Yeah, it helps your hair grow. Everything. You say. You said some young brother's a healer. Who dad do that? That's his name. Yeah, Kakaya. Yep, that's American too. Chocolate. That coca. That coca leaf. Kakaya. Right, the coca plant, not leaf. I'm talking about something else. Yeah, use maca, and then maca was gonna do, especially if you're trying to lose weight. It's gonna motivate you to work out. You're gonna feel like you can run a mile, like you want to climb stuff. Like for me, makes me want to go run in the woods and climb trees, go lift weights, all types of stuff. So if you lifting weights, you trying to do weightlifting too as well for the men. You trying to bulk, it's good to use maca too. Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going a little off subject. Um, but back to the political stuff. So always do your due diligence for anything you ingest. Yes, research everything. Don't just jump and get all these things I'm telling y'all without you researching it, because it might not be the best thing for you, especially if you're on medication or you got other issues going on. But most of those things are foods, like macas are food. So those are pretty safe. But if you got like heart issues or something, you might not want to take maca. So you got to look into those things. Because maca's going to raise your heart rate, everything. You're going to be, like a child. Basically, you're gonna feel like a child. Y'all know how y'all kids be all hyper and jumping off the couch. That's how it is. Yes, an energy booster, exactly. Do you know about mutate? No, I don't. I don't know about that one. I really don't know about that. But anyways, we got saying about the election. A lot of people not realizing what's going on. They're not realizing what we're dealing with here. Um, in this election. And the whole thing is a big ritual, y'all. And it's a distraction as well, because it's obviously it seems like something else is going to happen behind all this. Yes, please, disclaimer, please see a physician, consult your physician, or any type of medicine or anything you're taking. Yeah, if you want to consult yourself, it's up to you. But, legally, I got to say that because people crazy. Yes, do your own research. Y'all know I always tell y'all, read the research, do your own research and research researcher and what they talk about. Don't just take people's word for it. You gotta know. Y'all see other people have the same experience on certain products, like Maca and stuff that I was talking about. So do your own research. Yes, these are herbs. These are our herbs. This is what our ancestors used, especially the cohosh. It's definitely a big disclaimer, like I was telling y'all with the cohosh, because if you're pregnant and you're not about to give birth, then do not take any type of cohosh at all, unless I don't know. I'm not gonna say that. Just don't take that, okay? Because the cohosh is made to make things exit out of your uterus. That's all I'm about to say. That's why it's good during the menstrual cycle. You say you never cared about politics or politicians. Oh, I thought you were into the politics, so you said you missed something. You missed what I was saying about the politicians. Yeah, the main thing I wanted to focus on was like I've been posting is that people need to pay attention to what's going on. Basically, the sign of this election is showing y'all that this stuff is over. The stuff in the physical realm is it's a wrap right now. It's only going to go downhill at this point. So people should be working on their insides, working on your health, working on your family, right? Putting your families together, putting your clans together, working on your spirituality. Okay, working on how to get over it. You said over, it's over. Getting out of here, right? Wherever you think you're gonna be going after this, that's what you should be focusing on, right? Okay, getting out this realm because this realm is over, right? And that's what the black dot is about. Okay, we are the black dot. So being the black dot, you are a piece of the universe. You're a piece of the creation. Okay, everybody's not a black dot. All right. Yes, that's including the parallel universes because it's more than one. Okay. Right, Brooklyn lady. It's all evil. It's all evil. You see it with when they talking about racing for the soul of the nation. Who talks like that? The soul of the nation. What is that telling you? Sound like they trying to snatch some souls. It sounding like they trying to get people to sell some souls, to give souls willingly. That's what it sounded like. Because some people don't have souls. That's why they need souls. Okay, that's what people missing. Some of these people ain't real, right? We're in the matrix. This is the big illusion. Some of the people are part of the matrix. Right, we're a fragment of the source, right? The God particles, as science calls it. Y'all research a God particle. They're talking about the black dot. They're talking about melanin. They're talking about the soul people. All right, each soul is a piece of the whole, right? Each soul is part of this whole. That's why in our culture we call it the great spirit. But we all are spirit. We all have a spirit. But the great spirit is all the collection of all the spirits, okay? The souls. The soul of the nation. And we know the soul of the nation is ours. It's our nation. It's our land, okay? We're the soil and the soul. And soul in Spanish is sun, right? The solar system. We're in the solar system. Y'all get it? Oh, you got it. See, somebody got it. Somebody got it right. We're reflections of the soul, the sun. That's what we're people of the sun, right? Of the soul. Soul brother number one, right? So a lot of people ain't getting it. And a lot of people following celebrities. And these celebrities are puppets and they don't even know what's going on. And some of them don't got a soul. Y'all know at this point they don't have a soul, some of them. Now there's some good celebrities out there that's real people who are just like you and I, who are conscious and know what's going on. And then there's the deceivers in the multiverse. Yeah, nope, he's not going to succeed. I'm telling you. This is like I talked earlier. If you were on here earlier, I talked about how Hillary succeeded to Obama. And she succeeded it early before they really counted all the votes. And we'll see. But you know, it's something more than the civil unrest because it's spiritual. Um, it was a similar issue with Al Gore years back, and Al Gore, he didn't cede right off the bat. He kept going for a minute, and then once they did all the count and whatever, he did cede. But nobody got on Al Gore back. Ain't nobody had issues with Al Gore like that. So it's got to be something with Trump that certain groups of people hate this man for no reason, right? They don't even know the policies, and then when you tell them stuff that he actually did, like the stuff with the HBCUs, a lot of the fundings, him letting out with thousands of melanated men out of prison and women, you know, they don't got nothing to say. They're like, oh, really? But why are you so passionate and so hateful, and you don't even know what's going on, right? These are not football teams. People act like they got the red flag and the blue flag. This is Bloods and Crips. This is football. This is Super Bowl. It's not. This is politics. It's politics. And the thing about politics is dealing with legislation and with taxation, all these different things that deal with your life on that aspect. It's not football, right? It's not war. Y'all acting like it's a civil war. It's definitely not that. It says pilgrims are fighting each other. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. But you got to see what different groups of them and what their agenda is, right? And some of them need us for their agenda. They need the black dot energy. They need the serpent Naga energy. They need that Quetzalcoatl, the Kukulkan, right? Divide, conquer, and control, right? Right. Biden passed the crime bill. Kamala enforced it, and then Trump got rid of it. But hey, he the racist. That's what I'm saying. The people don't know. Okay, if you prefer to vote for someone else, not vote for Trump, that's fine. All right, Brooklyn Lee, you said always question why everyone hates one person. That's an agenda, right? And especially dealing with a lot of this media and celebrities and things like that. You want to do the opposite of what they telling you. You don't wanna be doing what they telling you because it's usually an agenda. It was like Bobby Hemmett said, they telling you to do something, you need to do the opposite, right? You need to do the opposite. Right. Vote independently. Yeah, do your research on the candidate. Choose what candidate is best for you and your lifestyle and your family. Don't just go by what they're saying. Don't go by what they're saying. And try to be unbiased. Yeah, or don't get involved because this stuff is not working in our favor anyways. It's not really working in our favor. You know, the C disease, it means crown in Spanish. Your crown chakra, your mind is under attack, and that's what it's about. Oh, definitely. They're definitely doing that. We must vote for ourselves and to build our communities. Right, because we're going to have to do that because none of these candidates is doing what we really need them to do. Right? You know, the current president has done some things that needed to be done, but he's not going to build up our community like we need to. He's not going to do certain things for our people that we need to be done, what we thought Obama was going to do, but he didn't do at all. He didn't do anything. He built up the LGBT community. You know, he gave them things, but he didn't really do any special things for us besides play basketball and dance and show his wife off, show his family off. People can relate to that, and I don't have no personal problems with him, but people felt like that was enough, and you can't even blame him because he's a politician. They felt like that was enough for him just being a cool dude. He is cool, or whatever. Um, but it wasn't like anything specially done for us, and it's kind of like he was not trying to do anything special for us because he didn't want to get a backlash from other people who put him in office who might not really like us like we think they like us, right? If we stop giving our energy, it will fall today. Exactly. They need our souls. They need the soul of the nation, right? Who is the soul of the nation? Who built the nation? Whose back is the nation's on? Whose soil is the nation's on? Us, our ancestors, right? They literally put plantations on our cities. They built houses on our ancestors' graves, right? They tried to take our souls. We still got them. You know what I'm saying? Try to suck the soul out of people. Putting the black codes for our free ancestors and enslavement for our enslaved ancestors. And just trying to wipe us out of existence. Right? You know, even after all that, they try to ship people away, ship people to Africa. People have never been to Africa. Their ancestors are not from there. Just to get them off the land. And now they're trying to change history so we don't even know this is our land. Trying to flip everything around. So they want the soul of this nation. Yes, the treaties, every treaty they made, they broke. Right? That's why they say they talk with a forked tongue. That's what the ancestors said. And that's the other snake. That's not the serpent. That's the snake. They got a reptilian energy. He said we need to control the rights of our dead burial grounds. Well, there's actually an act put in place um, for American Indians to protect certain grounds. So they have started doing that, but that's after they done leveled hundreds, probably thousands of mounds that we don't know about. We only know about certain mounds now. That's not all the mounds that was here. That's the ones that they preserved and protected. That's not all the mounds. And there's still mounds in the jungles. There's mounds all through the Midwest that we don't know about. On the East Coast, I know in Virginia, they leveled. Many mounds, right? You look on the map, the old maps, you'll see like the place littered with mounds, and now it's nothing here. It's all leveled. And which some people don't know, there's pyramids under some of those mounds. It's not just piles of dirt, there's stone structures under them. There's tunnels under them. There's all type of things under them. Yeah, we need them. Smithsonian has a lot of the bodies. Smithsonian got a lot of the bones in the basement. They got a lot of skull and bones. Right, getting our classifications away from black. And you're black, you're not indigenous, right? And some people, there's no offense to people who use that terminology because it's part of our social structure at this point, and people are still into that habit of using it. But you got to know for yourself who you are, right? Who you are as an individual, who you are as a people, as a family, where you come from. Right, vote for us. Whatever's going to benefit us, that's what you should be voting for. And it's not just about a president, it's about these senators and these congress people. They've been slithering their way in and out office for a long time without taking accountability of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? These people who are in Michigan, whoever's the senator or the congressperson, both of them from Michigan should be ashamed about what's going on with Michigan and their economy and their water and their people out of jobs. It's ridiculous what's going on, the violence and everything. The real estate up there, it's bad. It's a whole bunch of stuff that's ridiculous. And people are not taking them accountable. They're like, let's blame the president. The president don't really deal with those type of things. A lot of the stuff that we need as a people comes down to these senators, these congressmen, these delegates, these representatives, whoever's over the local district, who's ever over your county, and all these different places, the mayor, all these different politicians are the people that we should be going to with our list of demands and what we need done. They're going to get our vote, but we just give our votes away like anything. I'm trying not to cuss y'all. I'm trying not to cuss today, but I'm kind of getting upset. Accountability, responsibility, transparency. Right. They don't tell you nothing unless you ask. You got to be writing these people these letters. They're not going to tell you certain things. They're not going to tell you what they voted for and stuff that they're getting paid from these lobbyists and all these different corporations are paying certain people. And needs to be documented history, right? Oh, New Orleans is definitely built on Shada land. It's built on top of it. They got the mound in the dang middle of the city. Right? Isn't LSU like built on top of the mounds over there? It's crazy. That's why their land is so wild, right? That's why so much is going on in New Orleans. Murders is that's a whole nother thing. A lot of ritualistic murders and things going on that land. The land ain't built right. The way they took it away from the Shada and the different tribes there, the Paca, Apacapa, I'm sorry, all these different tribes that were there, and then the ones that they wiped out, the ones that they wiped out with murder and enslavement. It's a whole lot of stuff going. That whole city need to be saged, and that's not the only place. Okay, a lot of our cities are really. There's a lot of rituals and things going on in these cities, and that's where this violence and stuff is coming from. Right? They're putting out certain frequencies in these cities and stuff. Yeah, most universities are built on top of mounds. Just a lot of them are. They're built on mounds or towns, right? Or old towns, just like these plantations and these parks. William and Mary is one of them. William and Mary got a lot of blood on their hand in that school. You see, Was it Brown University? Is that in Boston, right? It's different group, different, yeah, different colleges and universities got issues. They got a whole lot of issues. Yeah, it's time for a big cleanup, and that's what they don't want. They don't want us coming back into our culture. They don't want us coming back into our spirituality because a lot of this stuff's gonna disappear. They can't keep playing the games. That's why they took us away from it. That's why they took us away. Said order will be restored. Yes, that's what it's all. It's a wrap. I'm telling you, it's gonna be restored. It's gonna be game over soon. They're gonna hit the reset button, or it's gonna be either gonna be reset again, which happened before, or it's gonna be game over. Oh yeah, that's why they are definitely trying hard to keep us out of it. They're definitely trying to and shame people and all types of stuff. Definitely. And our spirituality is peaceful, about nature and energy and balance and bettering yourself, health wise and emotionally. They don't want that. They don't want healthy people. You can't make money off of healthy people. You can't take from healthy people, right? So yeah, the universe is tired. I'm telling you, yep. Tired of the occupation is about to be done. It's about connecting self, nature, and source. Exactly. Becoming the black dot. That's what it's about. Becoming the black dot in the middle of the circle. Yep, that's what we got to be doing, focusing on that. Meditation, wherever you are. We start where you at. Nobody asking people to change completely their beliefs and who they are. If you're a Christian, you start where you at. You start with your prayers, your fasting, your meditation. A lot of people don't even they claim to be Christians, but they don't really even follow the stuff that they're supposed to be doing, like the fasting and stuff. Start with those. Start cleaning your health up. Okay, prayer is just another form of meditation and manifestation. Do that to actually take time and clear your mind and be in silence and do that. Don't just when you need something. Oh, pray for that check to come through. You know what I'm saying? Pray to get the new job. Pray she gonna call you back, answer the phone. Don't be just praying for stuff. Pray for the new Jordans. You need to be manifesting and meditating in your prayer. Okay, those of us who are spiritual, whatever spirituality, you say guilty. You praying for them new Jordans, Gio. Those of us who are into spirituality, we know that that's very important. You say, no, you're not with the Christian thing. I'm just saying, I'm trying to meet people where they at. That's all I'm saying. Say, pray that the universe will be done in your life. Yeah, yeah. People just gotta get concentrate, pray, go within, right? All these different texts. Every religion tells you to go within, but people are following the pastors. They're following the priest, the I don't know what the other people call it, imam, and whatever else they have in Hindu, whatever. They're following all these different people, Buddha, whoever, but they're not actually reading the text and reading between the line because a lot of the texts are metaphorical. It's a lot of information in these texts metaphorically that people are not getting at all. Right, come back to wholeness. That's what I'm saying. The black dot. The black dot is everything. The black dot is everywhere. And the black dot is everyone and connecting everything. Okay, you're in the middle of the north, south, east, and west. Between the red, yellow, black, and white colors. So, yeah, that's what it's about. Right? And then the Bible say the temple of God is within you. And I think the Quran says Allah dwells within. Right? And then the Quran addresses God or Allah as us, we. It's more, it's a group. Okay? It's the souls, the souls. All the souls becoming whole. Right? That's what this universal great spirit is. You say I'm rocking with the ancestors and the universe. 85% of my family rocking with the Christian thing. I, that's how my family is too. I'm just saying. Okay, no, I'm not a Christian, but I'm just telling you, as a spiritual person, that's what people need to be doing. You meet people where they at. You don't try to shame them for how they believe. You meet them where they at, and then once they get into the information, then if they choose to, if it's meant for them, they're going to study more and they're going to get more knowledge. I think the problem with a lot of people, what they do when they get conscious, is they try to dump information on people who don't know the information, and that makes people back away. They get scared. They don't want nothing to do with it. They get aggravated. They feel like you judging them and you're making them feel bad, even though they might be judging you the whole time. So you don't want to dump. You don't want to dump information and opinions and you know, your own beliefs on people. You tell people about your experience. You tell people about what you found, and you just gradually feed them. Right? You don't stuff nobody with a whole Thanksgiving dinner. You gradually feed them, or whatever type of dinner. I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the food coming up soon. And speaking of that, we're gonna be in Philly for the no job turkeys, no grandma killers tour event in Philadelphia, and that's gonna be on Black Friday and the day after. So that's that Friday and that Saturday weekend for the Thanksgiving holidays. And like I said before, that's our stuff. Thanksgiving is our holiday. And we had at least 13 Thanksgivings throughout the year. Okay, and then we also have celebrations in between. People get married, or we had a lot of group marriages, which people don't know. People would get married in groups. So people get married, or they have some other thing coming up, or they go to war. They gotta have the war party. We partied a lot. That's all I'm gonna say. We gathered, we stayed together. And, that's part of being the black dot, us coming together physically, because there's spirituality in that. There's power in that. And that's why they want everybody to be 6 feet away and all. But we're not getting to that right now. They want people to be away from each other. They don't like us to be partying. Y'all know when we have parties, people call the police and all this other stuff. They don't like us to be gathering together. Okay. Yeah, group weddings. That's how we did it. And what they would do is they would jump the broom. So they would tie the knot physically. They would tie the clothing. The husband and wife would tie the clothing together. Tie the knot. That's where that comes from. It comes from our culture. You say you're right. I have a deep conversation with my mom, and she listens and understands my point of view, but she lets me know that she's still gonna rock with the Christian thing, and that that's okay as long as she's open right now. Some of the elders just gonna keep doing their thing, but some of the elders still was doing their thing about they knew they was Indian, and they were still practicing secretly practicing some of our old traditions. And we see that with soul food. We see that with a lot of things in the church is still indigenous things. A lot of the dances, the way that you see the difference between how we have our churches and how European people have their churches. They if y'all ain't never been to church with European people, y'all think that stuff y'all go with your grandma to church is boring and you fall asleep. I'm telling you, it is really it's very peaceful though. I'll tell you that. That's like the purpose. No disrespect to people's beliefs, but it's their environment is very chill, peaceful, relaxing, compared to our churches. We got a party, we gotta have the music, people gotta be dancing in circles and doing the prayer dance and on the floor and throwing cloths on people's skirts. That's they gonna kick their legs up in the air, running through the aisles. You know what I'm saying? So It's different. We're involving our stuff from our ceremonies. Okay, because we used to dance. We had the music on. We had that drum, right? Doing them same dances. Okay, that's how we used to worship. That's how we worship the earth, right? And the universe and the great spirit. Dancing. And that goes back to what we were talking about with the nerve endings. A lot of the nerve endings from the back go down to the feet. And when you stamp your feet, that's producing more melanin throughout your body, which you don't hear nobody talk about. So when you stomp in your feet and you're dancing, it produces more melanin in your body. I'll say it again. Catching the Holy Ghost. Basically, you're connecting with the Great Spirit by dancing. So we had the stomp dance, right? In the powwows, we had the stomp dances. Yes, catching that Holy Ghost. Yes, we can still tell. You know that when we got that look. When you see a person, another indigenous person you ain't never met in your life, they give you that look. No matter what's going on, you know something going on. If something's going down, they give you that look. If something good's happening, give that look. If somebody full of mess, they'll be like, you know that fool is full of mess. All you gotta do is give you that's telepathy right there. Yep, you said we could benefit from practicing our skill in telepathic communication more. Our general dependency on technology can hurt us when stuff hits the fan. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We got to get to the old ways. The old ways. So if we have more of these events like we're trying to do with the No Grandma Killers tour, getting us together, getting us reconnected with our family. We're doing genealogy on the spot there, right? We're talking about issues. We're having panels. It's just really to get everybody together and physically being together and learning about ourselves and our people and coming up with solutions. Okay, that's what we'll be doing. Um, but if we can have more of those things like talking circles, talking circles, when we sit in circles and talk, we've been had that. That's before we had psychologists and all this other stuff. We had talking circles. We talked about our issues. Just like back in the day, we had Teen Summit. Y'all watched BET. Teen Summit is basically a talking circle. People talk about their issues, and it was like therapy, and people worked out their issues that way. That's how we used to do it. That's what we need to do because our people were in a bad shape mentally. They're in a really bad shape mentally. So we need to be working on those type of things. Okay, and that's something I might want to implicate on YouTube, if people want to do that, we can have a talking circle night, and people can come on here and talk about issues, and other people can try to help them with the issues. They might have gone through the same thing, and it might be, have advice or know something that might help. Okay, yeah, no problem. So balancing the chakras when the evangelists came to town during revival. Yeah, and a lot of that stuff that they saying is spooky, they doing in the church. They laying the hands, right? They're using the holy water. We use the moon water. Um, Talking in tongues. What do you think that is? They communicating with spirits and stuff. Catching the Holy Ghost, communicating with spirits or the spirit, great spirit. A lot of that stuff that they doing, drinking the blood, communion. They're doing spiritual things. Yes, the holy anointed oil, blessed oil. They're anointing themselves and the candles with oils. They're burning candles. Okay, so people need to stop judging other people so much. Reading from the book of Psalms, that's the spell book that's in the Bible. Okay, so a lot of stuff that they're doing spiritual work. Okay, you said the Holy Ghost dance. It's the ghost dance. No, it's another dance. I'm gonna do another video on that. Holy Ghost dance is an indigenous dance, but it's not the ghost dance. The ghost dance is a new dance. We're doing that dance before the ghost dance was invented. The ghost dance was only invented in the 1800s, so it's a new dance. Okay. He says standing on the block. That's how we used to do in our towns. Because so many people lived in the house, like they had everybody, grandma and grandpa living in the house, Ray Ray, Baby, and her kids in the same house. Because it was grandma's house. A lot of us living now, we living up in grandma's house, right? Some people live in grandma's house. That's how it used to be, grandma's land and grandma's house. So she was the head of the clan, okay? If the woman got married and she moved out, she'd go build her own house, but she won't. That was grandma's house, but she had to go physically build her own house. But grandma built her house from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? So the woman, she want to get married to her husband, she gonna have to go build her own house. But that's how it is. A lot of the family still, even if they were married, a lot of them stayed together, especially if they had a long house. If the grandma had built a big long house, everybody's gonna stay up in there. But people ain't just sit in the house all day. They sat out on the block, right? They sat up. They had the town squares. They had a town hall building that people hung out in. That's just when they weren't working or they went to the circle. That they had the spiritual meetings. They had the fire there. People danced. They had to have some type of event going on. They were dancing. They were, having a talking circle, or either they're doing some type of ceremony over there. And that was usually at near the town hall. Right, grandma is the head of the clan. Grandma was the head. That was her clan. Right. So the clans belong to the women, and the land belonged to the women. It was grandma's land, and the house belonged to the women. But the men were important. It doesn't mean the men were not important. Right. The men did the hunting. They did the protecting. Men did a lot of there were a lot of politicians, right? The political work with the government. A lot of the men did a lot of the government work, right? Yep, out of grandma's house from sunrise to sunset. Exactly. Exactly. That's how it was and that's how it is now, right? Grandma, she ain't gonna see you just sitting around with your feet kicked up. You better be out this house. Y'all remember back in the day, y'all, your mama put you out and she was like, don't come back until that street light come on. You better come back when the street light come on. Right? That's how it was. So when that light came on, they started lighting that fire outside back in the day in the village or the town. That's when your butt need to be in the house, right? That's where we get it from. People don't understand. The culture's still there. He said Mama Rose was my big mama, and she had this hard plastic bat, and she could throw it like a boomerang. What? Better be careful. We saying grandma and pecan trees and plum trees and pear trees and persimmon in her backyard. Right, that's the stuff. Y'all know pecans is our stuff. All that stuff is from here. Pecans like the nut. Like in the Powhatan language, the word for pecan is like the word for a lot of the nuts. Like the word that you use for pecan, the extra word, because Powhatan have words, two or three different words for the same thing sometimes. It's the word for all the nuts. So it's pecans. Pecan is a Powhatan word, or pecan, whichever way you want to say it. I think we said more pecan, but pecan is a Powhatan word, and the other word that you can use for a pecan is the word for all nuts as well. So it's that pawpaws. Yep. The peach tree. I think the peach and apricots were brought here, but we kind of took to those because they were similar to some of the other fruits that we had growing here. Definitely. But yeah, the culture is still there. They worked in the fields or in the town, right? Yeah, the women worked the fields. Women were the ones who did the agriculture because the men had to do the hunting. They did political stuff, so they would have to do visit other towns and connect with them and communicate with them and things like that. They did the fishing as well, so the men had the fisheries. And they, got seafood and stuff. They had to do a lot of traveling and stuff. That's why, if certain men had to travel a lot, that's when like polygamy was, people did polygamy. It wasn't just like everybody did polygamy. Some men had to travel most of the time or half the time to another town, like doing work, like if they're a politician or councilman or whatever you want to call them, and they would have another wife in that town, right? So whatever town they lived in, that's who clan they would be a part of, right? Because it was her house. So every wife had their own house. It wasn't like no, you know, sister wives. Every wife had their own property. They had their own house, had their own children, and he had to provide equally the hunting food for both families or how many other wives he had. So you couldn't be no chump having a bunch of wives. It wasn't no polygamy. It wasn't no, let's put all our money together and pay the bills. No, the man had to make sure he bought the meat, the meat and stuff. The women bring the potatoes. They had to get the fishing. They had to get the bears or the buffaloes or whatever they're going to use, deer, to make clothing, to make the bedding, and make weapons and all type of things that they needed. Papa was a rolling stone, but it wasn't like a disrespect like it became. It was a necessity. So if he was gonna be working in another town half the time, of course he would go crazy. He ain't had no woman there to, how he gonna eat for one thing, right? Because as a man, you don't really have time to be fiddling around with food and stuff because you're doing other things. So he need to have food and stuff when he came, when he come home to his other town, right? He need to have cornbread. He need to have his greens. He have his fried fish, right? So that's what that's about. One like he was just, going on groupie tours, nothing like that. It was serious. Like you needed that. He needed companionship. He gonna come home and talk to the wall. He needed a place to stay for one because the men, like I said, the houses were owned by the women. Yeah, hotel. And when a hotel hopping, I mean, when you come to a different town, you can stay at your clan's house, but that's when we're thin. with a whole bunch of people up in the clan house and grandma house, because grandma house was the clan house. So if you go into the clan house, not that other clan, we talking about our clan. You had the Bear Clan house. You from Bear Clan, right? Your wife in another town from Bear Clan. So you come into the different town. You go into the Bear Clan grandma house, whoever the clan mother is for the Bear Clan. You come to her house, the grandma house, and chill with her and sleep there. You know, and maybe you get some food, but it ain't gonna be a lot of food like if you had your own wife there. So that's that all was about. Right, it was done when it was needed. Yeah, it was done when it was needed. You said imitate is what you rounded your stuff on corn, chocolate, chilies. Also, you like the pedestals, the pestles. That's what you're talking about. Akita, you said it's needed now. I mean, for different people, it might be needed, but nowadays people are very narcissistic. They about they selfies, they self and their wealth, and then I don't know, maybe like athletes or something, celebrities. Yeah, they maybe they work for them because they're doing that anyways, just not properly. But the average dude, I don't know if it might be too much. Maybe a truck driver or something. I don't know. Probably, yeah, probably like a truck driver it will work for. If it's certain towns that you're driving to mostly, you know, that's how some of us how some of our elders or grandpas were doing it anyway. But they have a woman in those towns that they were at. You said, do Tasha, do you have more than one clan? Nope, everybody only have one clan. Now maybe with the men who have multiple wives, they could bounce between the clans, but essentially they will be the clan of their first wife. So whoever the first wife is the first wife is from Bear Clan, then the husband be in Bear Clan even if he marry another Wolf Clan woman. Like you down for life, right? It's like a gang. You can't be jumped out of the clan, right? You can't be jumped out of the clan. You become blood at that point when you marry your first wife. So you part of that her mama or her grandma is become your mama in a sense, right? So whatever her grandma says goes because you in grandma's clan or whoever the oldest. If she had her mother, if grandma have her mother living, it'd be great grandma clan. We have to change up your money. Yeah, we gotta go back to how we used to do. Money wasn't that important. It was, it was about trade. We need to get back into trading and building and being self-sufficient as well. But also, when you self-sufficient, you're gonna have some leftovers, and you can trade and do what you have to do with your leftovers, right? If you cultivate corn, if your wife she got a cornfield and it's like too much corn for you, you can go take that corn and flip it and get something else. I don't know. Get some fish if you're tired. Like some of the men might get sick or something and they gotta flip corn to get some fish because the man can't hunt or his son's not old enough to hunt. So that's how they had to do. Is that why they had so many different husbands and wives? Yeah, and all women weren't down with that. Like your wife has to approve of you getting another wife, right? And then even if you got another wife, you can't just be messing with other women because both the wives gonna come beat you up, right? So even if you had multiple wives, it's still if you go outside of the marriage, because you're gonna be married to all of them, then that's still considered cheating, and that wasn't really tolerated in our culture. We didn't tolerate cheating. We we had more people that were open and honest. So I read one story about this Italian woman. Um, she was married. I think she was in the Rappahannock tribe they were talking about. Oh, thank you for the donation, Melissa. Appreciate it. Y'all can hit the Cash App up or the PayPal up if you can. I'm not begging for donations. But anyways, there's a story about this woman in the Rappahannock. I think she Tappahannock. You know this. Well, I'm not gonna get into the language, but you can either use a T or a R in the Powhatan language. So she was in the Rappahannock tribe, and she was married. She only had one husband, and he only had one wife. So the husband was started doing business, and he was going out of town a lot. And he didn't get another wife though, because he loved his wife. He was dedicated to her. But this woman, like this guy who I guess she was dating before she got married, because we created dating, dating and courting and stuff like that. That comes from our culture. So, a guy that was courting her, that her husband beat out, I guess. She really had feelings for this guy. She was like really in love with him, even though the husband beat him out. She thought the husband was better for her family and her lifestyle. And what happened was the good husband kept going out of town, and she ended up cheating on the husband with this man that she had feelings for, and she got drugged. Literally, the clan mothers drug her behind, and they embarrassed her. They embarrassed her in the town square, in the town circle. We had town circles, so we didn't have squares. In the town circle, they embarrassed her for cheating on her husband. Okay, if she was at a higher position in life, or if she goes to get another husband, because we had Landry as well, she could have done that. But the fact that she didn't say nothing to her husband, she went behind his back. She went behind her grandmother and her mother's back, doing these things, embarrassing the family. She got literally drugged. So that's how they did things. Like you couldn't just be going around cheating and stuff. Because what if she would have had a child and they would not know who the father is, right? Because we dealt with bloodline, so that was the main issue. Like if she was a clan mother or whatever, or she was a chief or something in a higher position, and she wanted another husband, she could have done that. But you can't just go cheating, because it was frowned upon. You said that's law, right? Yeah, the clan mother, grandma don't play that. You don't play with her family like that. They didn't play that like that. So if the man would have done the same thing would have happened. It wasn't gender based on gender with that. It was principle things, right? Because everything was about bloodlines and families and the cohesiveness of those families. Now, if the husband was going out of town a lot and she didn't want to be with him no more or whatever, then when he came back, he would see all his stuff packed up outside of the house, because the woman owned the house and she would put him out. Right? But that will only happen after she had talked to him, saying that she didn't like that, and he agreed that he was going to go out of town no more or whatever, and they talked to the grandmother about it, the grandma about it, right? Then okay, if he still was doing something wrong, then the clan mother would let them get a divorce. So that's what a divorce was, when you came back and all your stuff was outside. You came back, all your stuff was out there, right? And you got to call Tyrone to come get your stuff. That's how it was. And, that's how people need to communicate, give chances, and talk to someone on the outside to view both sides unbiasedly, even though that's her grandma. Grandma, the clan mother, got to be unbiased to situations and give the best advice. So that's how we did it. You laughing, but that's how they did things. Some of our families still do it that way. They're gonna drag you now. If you embarrass the family, they're gonna drag you, right? A man hits a woman or beat a woman up, they're gonna drag you. That was not, if a man does anything like that, hit a woman, stab her, or abuse her, like that, they gonna drag you, and then they gonna torture you for that, because that's like one of the highest offense, to be disrespectful to women, especially physically. And even a child too. You beat a child down, they're gonna drag you. Probably hang you up at the town square and torture you, because that stuff was not acceptable. Our culture is not. Even the woman. If the woman beat up her husband, she put hands on her husband, it's gonna be a problem. We didn't do that, right? Hands and putting hands on people, that was for war time. Yep. You come home and the locks. That's the equivalent, because that's her house. He can't come in. His stuff outside, right? It's gonna be in them deerskin duffel bags, them deerskin trash bags. This was gonna be in outside. Yep. They said no drag or beat down. Yep. They gonna drag you. They really, literally gonna drag you. That's probably where we get that term from, because they really gonna drag you out there. Yeah, it wasn't a double standard, definitely, and it was more equal. It was more equal. It wasn't like women are better than men or men were better than women. But everybody had their place and they worked together. And it wasn't perfect. Like I said, people did stuff outside of the norm, but they got dragged for it. Got dragged for it, for real. Yep. If they tell you, a lot of women, our family member, male family members, still say that. They touch you, it's a wrap. That's I mean, they like y'all business, but they put hands on you, the family gonna drag, right? Oh yeah, they real. That's what I said. They literally will drag a person through the town circle, to the town hall. They would do that for real. All right, but do y'all got any more questions, y'all? I got way off. I think the ancestors wanted that message out there, because I don't got way off subject. The ancestors wanted that message about getting dragged out there, because some people need a dragging. They definitely do, and a lot of women in our culture don't understand. You don't put hands. You don't put hands on nobody. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of men talking about now a lot of men are coming out talking about women putting hands on them. Okay, because we've been hearing for years about domestic violence against women, which we should be, it should be talked about, but nobody's talking about what happens to the men. And a lot of women think they can put hands on the man, and then get him in trouble, which we saw with the Rihanna and Chris Brown stuff. I can get all into that, but they think they can do that and get away with it, and that's not cool either. So nobody should be putting hands on anybody. It's not cool at all. Right. Yeah, Makita, is best to walk away. It is best to walk away. Definitely. They, what you say, they come after you and go in a manhunt. Oh yeah, he better be running. But see, the thing is, at a certain point, like if you do something really bad, then you're gonna be kicked out of the tribe, and that's like the worst thing you can do, because it's like, where do you go? You're not gonna have no food, no nothing, because it's not like you can just stop at McDonald's and get something to eat. You're gonna be out there starving in the woods, because everything back then dealing with your health and eating and stuff, it was a unit. Like your clan worked in a unit to feed you, to clothe you, to have a roof over your head, right? So when you get dumped off in the woods, like what they would do is drag you. If the man did something really severe, like he um beat a woman to death or something, or beat her really bad, they gonna drag him to the town hall, torture him till he's almost dead, and then blindfold him and take him out of the area and dump him there. And you don't know if it's gangland, like if it's the rivals' land or what. And he's like in the middle of nowhere with no food, no water, and he got to fend for himself. And then he got to find a whole new identity, and a whole new place to live. Him versus his family, he can't even come back. So that's why people just didn't do stuff like that all the time. But it happened, and people got consequences for it. So even women did stuff. If they did something really bad, they do the same thing. Have the women beat them up and take them out of there. Right. You didn't want to, that was your whole identity. That was your bloodline, your family. You didn't want to be kicked out of your family for embarrassing them and doing something stupid to, you know, put people in your tribe in danger. That's what you're doing. You endanger your tribe by beating people up. You know. You said my maternal grandmother used to kill my grandfather verbally when she had enough, and she would immediately, then he would immediately shut up. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, you know women sharp with the tongue now. You know that, but grandma ain't put her hands on nobody. You said men like to provoke violence in women and walk away, and that's bad too. That definitely shouldn't happen. No, people need to. That's why I'm telling you, we got to go back to the old ways. People need to be more respectful to each other and treat people like equals. Or think about their family. Like a lot of people wilding out and doing dumb stuff. You embarrassing your whole bloodline, acting a fool sometimes. Selena, you said, I know when y'all come to Philly, if the birds bothering you or Phoenix, they're gonna get dragged. Oh my goodness. We don't want nobody to get dragged. But yeah, verbal abuse is really bad. People gotta be respectful. People gotta be respectful of each other. Seriously. It's not a good look to be cussing folks out or putting hands on people. That's definitely not acceptable. It's definitely not. You said they got them riled up. Oh my goodness, y'all. Yeah, but please, y'all, please like and share the video out, please. People need to know this information. I appreciate all of you. Y'all always come through for me. Coming on the lives and stuff. I know some of y'all be missing lives and this and that. That's why I've been trying to come on at different times now. Because I usually come on during the daytime, but I like to come on different times now so everybody can get a chance to come on, and chat with me or whatever. You said call Tyrone. Right, that's what I said. And come get your out here in these deer trash bags. Better come get your stuff, right? Mm-mm-mm. No, but that's bad. That stuff was the last resort. The people were more respectful, right? And if they felt that, if the woman felt it got to a point that it was not working and the person that wasn't trying to change and get better, that's when they would make you call Tyrone. Come get your stuff out of these dear trash bags, these dear duffel bags outside. Hey, Mona. He said there should be a protocol for solving problems, no violence communication. Right, and that's what I was saying, Akita, about the talking circles. A lot of the problems, the people will go to the talking circles and have their problems. Or then they go to the ball field and play a game of ball to resolve the problems. And if it got to that point after that, then if you got that bad, y'all go find somewhere and go fight. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's two rival towns and y'all will go to war and have a battle. But they started with talking, then with playing a sport to try to resolve it, or a dance off, because we had those too. You can have a dance off, um, stuff like that. Probably freestyle battles, because a lot of the chants and stuff come from our old culture that we do in hip hop. Even the boom bap, that whole rhythm comes from our drums, because the African drums are much faster. They don't go in that beat. But yeah, they would try to discuss it first, and a lot of times you can get stuff done with discussion. Other times, some people just really want to play ball games, so they act like they weren't trying to fix the issues. And that's how we did it. We try to be civil with it. We try to give people at least three strikes, at least two strikes, get things done. And these things, the stuff I'm talking about, are in books as well. It's not just oral history knowledge or knowledge from people or ancestral knowledge that I just know from communicating with the ancestors. These things are in books as well. You can find well, all the stuff I'm talking about. All right, there's a book about the Tappahannock. Oh my goodness, what is the name of the book? I'll try to find that book. So I'm gonna try to restart my Patreon up soon, and I'll be putting like the PDFs of these books that are that you can read all this information on it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is genetic memory. This stuff is embedded in us. We know, like, it's in our cultures and everything. And people not realizing that this is our culture, right? They want us to think that we don't have a culture, that we don't have an identity, that we don't have a tribe affiliation or tribes that we descend from. We don't have bloodlines. We don't have anything, right? They want us to be black, like black, not the black dot, but just there. You know what I'm saying? And that's not, like I said, people who use the social term black. I'm talking about they want us to be a void of nothingness. Okay? So that's why it's important to know your culture and find your people. Even your own family has their own culture. Okay? How your big mama do her Sunday dinner or don't do her Sunday dinners. You have a culture there, even if it's a dysfunctional culture. Erica, you said now it seems like many of the women are not any different than the men, especially following. Yeah, we see it. We see it. We gotta be accountable for our actions. There's a lot of women that's out of pocket, they're out of line, and they don't want to be accountable for what they're doing, and it's making us all look bad. And it don't mean those of us who not doing it is better than them. It's just like we need to be uplifting each other and give people accountable so they can be better. So they can do better for their family and the future generations. That's what it's about. It's about judging people. They give you pieces of the puzzle and you don't know where to fit, but you find out later on. Yep, it's all there. That's how the ancestors do. Yep, that's definitely how my ancestors speak to me. They'll say something. It's just not like they're talking, not like a crazy person hearing voices. You get an idea in your head that you know it's not yours because it's coming out of nowhere for me. And then I'm like, okay, let me the ball games, and then I go and research it, and they'll basically lead me to the information that I'm looking for. Like one day I had something about Indian football come in my head, so I did research and I found out that we did have a form of football here. They like to tell us that football came from rugby, but I found information. I think it's that same book about the Tappahannock. I might have to pull it up. That had information about us having football games here, football. So that's how the ancestors work. You get these ideas. It's not talking, not crazy talk. It's ideas, and then they come to dreams, and you have certain visions in your dreams. Okay, or they come and talk to you in the dreams. It's that I appreciate you. I enjoy this film. I was happy to catch another one of your lives. Very therapeutic for me. That boom bap is definitely ours. Being a man of my age and growing up in the late 80s. Okay, you're 80s baby too. Yes, definitely that boom bap. Us hip hop heads know about that boom bap. And when you go to them powwows or certain events, that people have, you're gonna hear the drums, the boom bap in the drums, in the rhythm. It's not like African drums. I've been to African events as well. The drums are not the same drums. Their drums are much faster, and it's not as boom bap. It's like boom 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 boom. Y'all know how the drums sound. It's different, and there's nothing wrong with it being different. But people want to attribute a lot of our stuff to them, but our stuff is different, and they completely ignore the culture of American Indians or Indigenous Americans or whatever you want to call us, Aboriginals, whatever you want to call us. They ignore our whole existence. A lot of the chants on top of the boom bat, the pals. That's what the pals, the priests or conjurers, they will have chants during these ceremonies with these drums. They will be rapping basically. They be chanting. They be flowing. A lot of the mumble rap that we laugh at, a lot of that stuff is very similar to the old stuff that they were doing at these ceremonies. Okay. And then the songs as well, the singing is like R&B. You hear it, jazz. You hear all these different things. Um, if you start studying the culture a little deeper, you're going to see that connection. Yes, of course we're going to say ours is better. Of course I believe that because it's ours. If I was them, I would be saying their stuff is better, right? So, it's ours. We gotta. That's what I'm saying. We gotta start digging within our culture and loving ourselves, giving us more props. That's self-love right there. That's not self-hate. If you done your genealogy or your grandma told you who you are, and you know where you from, you from here, and you celebrating that culture and that history, that's not self-hate. That's pure self-love for you and your family. So I don't care what nobody say. Okay. Right, basketball's from here too. Right? We had a former baseball here as well. That's why we're so good at these different. It's not a coincidence that we're so good at these games, these sports. We had hockey and we made hockey as well. When we play hockey, we are good at hockey, but a lot of us don't play it. And then these sports take a lot of cerebral. They're very cerebral. But once we start showing up in numbers and being so good at these sports, they try to make the whole dumb jock character. They try to associate dumbness with being an athlete. When it used to be, you had to be really smart to be an athlete. That's why, like, Ivy Leagues and stuff had all these good sports teams. So you had to be very intelligent. But once our men start dominating in these sports, and now the women, like Serena and Venus and them, um, now it's like you dumb and this and that associated with it, right? So y'all gotta think about it. Yes, hockey is invented by us. You can look all this stuff up. You can definitely look it up. This is American Indian sport. Yeah, you don't see us, but then like I think it's like two guys in the National Hockey League, and they're like really good players. So when we actually play hockey, we're really good at it. Now they got a whole bunch of foreign people, Eastern Europeans coming in like dominating hockey, and we don't have our young men playing hockey, right? So you can look up like old pictures of hockey players, and I think there's a book talking about so-called African American hockey players and all this stuff. But we used to have like a lot of hockey teams and stuff, like when it first was being popular, So, and then a lot of those people went to baseball. But yeah, you guys, please like the video. Please share it out. If you gotta, ask more questions, you can email me. My email is very full at the moment. But I'll try to get to it. I've been trying to, chip at it. Um, Try to answer your questions and things. And y'all can always comment on comment on my posts and stuff in the community page. And please, come out and see us at the No Grandma Killers event. We're gonna be in Philly that Thanksgiving weekend, Friday and Saturday. You should be able to get tickets on nograndmakillers.com if you're interested. Especially if you feel like just come out. You gotta come out and see us and see other people. We really created it as an ancestral tour, to give people information on their genealogy and for people to come together and connect. Pennsylvania is only going to be 10% capacity, so you have to get your tickets now if you really want to come out to the event because it's going to be sold out soon. We can't, sell all the tickets that we want to sell. All right. Yeah, Adina Academy is back up. You can go to adinaacademy.com. I mean, it's been up for a while, but I got access back to be able to change the, curriculum and stuff that I didn't have because they hacked my stuff. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, that's all back up. I had an issue the other day that I had to fix. So everything should be working perfectly right now. So, and I have the Power 10 language classes on there. I'm adding more to those classes as well as the genealogy class. I put a lot of resources, links to different sites to help people. So if you already signed up in the class, you can go and check the source area, and it's going to be like a big. I'm gonna keep add to it though. This is going to be a page with a bunch of links for genealogy, so you can. Because some people get stuck on things and they don't know where to go to look for stuff. And now that we can't really go into the library like that, we have to be utilizing online, places. We can't just be stuck on ancestry.com and familysearch.org. Got to go to other places beside that. What is the site? adinaacademy.com. We'll put in the chat. Yeah, so it has the information about the pecans and stuff as well. So when I do the language classes, I tell you how to pronounce the language as well as give you like a backstory on certain things dealing with cultural as well. So you're getting culture, getting a culture lesson along with the words, learning the words. Oh, no thank. I mean, I'm gonna say no thank you. No problem. No problem, Yolanda. Erica, you said there's a lot of black hockey players. They're usually Canadian, right? In Canada, right? Players from the Caribbean who, for whatever reason, moved to Canada. Yeah, and a lot of those the Caribbean people descend from people, American Indians sent there, and a lot of them were sent from Canada. The Pawnees from the Great Slave Lakes in Canada, a lot of them were sent to the Caribbean. The Algonquian speaker Pawnees. So some of the people are basically coming back to their roots because the Pawnees played hockey. The hockey was invented up in that area, northern United States and southern Canada and stuff around that border. That's where hockey comes from up north. All right, but thank you guys. I've been on here almost 3 hours. Y'all know I don't be doing these lives this long. I was having so much fun with you guys. I was driving too, and then we got into the putting the stuff out and all that stuff. We didn't get to the trapping and the whapping today. You know, I was gonna say something about it. But we got into the polygamy and polygamy and all that cultural stuff that people had, and the dragging, right? So I hope y'all can, pass this information along because people need to know this stuff, especially the kids. So that's why I try not to cuss, so people can watch the video with with the children in the room or send it to their children or whatever. Because I know I'll be watching some of these videos. I got to put my headphones on. I can't have little bear listen to some of the stuff that's going on. The stuff, whew, you listen to it, it'll be sounding all right, and then people just start going off, right? And I don't have no personal problem with myself, but I don't want little bear listening to it because he gonna repeat it. Then I'm gonna be embarrassed. I'm gonna have a drag him. No, I'm kidding. I would not drag little bear. He's too cute. I can't little bear at all. He said I always don't get the notifications. I missed it. I'll listen to it tonight. Oh, Mona, what you have to do is when you go to the subscribe button, there's a little bell there, and you're gonna have to click it and make it solid gray color and it should say all notifications. Because if you don't click that bell button, if you just click the subscribe button when you subscribe, they're not going to send you all the information. I mean, all the notifications, especially a channel like mine where they don't want some of the stuff I'm talking. They don't like the stuff I'm talking about because they're already blocking me in the search engine. People are saying, um, yeah, you're gonna have to put all the notifications on. Oh, thank you. No, no problem, Linda. Thank you. All right, y'all. So I appreciate y'all. I hope you have a safe night. Stay safe out here after these selections and all the stuff going on and projections and selections going on tonight. Um, yeah, they blocking me. So some people actually said that it unsubscribed them as well. So um, y'all might have to check your subscription and make sure you got the gray bell so you can get the notification for lives. Because they will do that. Because I don't got flagged several times. And that's another reason why I try to cut. I don't get flagged either. So, what is the website for your self-care line again? Um, shenaturals.com. I'm about to put it in the chat. And I'm about to probably get on there tonight and try to make sure everything is, restocked. Everything's restocked on the website that's available. He said my paternal eighth grandmother was Micmac from Indian from Quebec, Canada. Okay. Are you from the Caribbean? That's cool. Yeah, so these people, like, we didn't just sit in one place. Micmac has connections with several tribes on the east, the Algonquian speakers. We all have connections, and people traveled, and somebody's husband might have went up there and may have had a second wife. But that's how they did. We know the Shinnecock men did that from up north in New York. A lot of them had wives down here in Virginia, North Carolina, and Narragansett did that too. Different tribes, that's how they did. They had these second wives in some places, or the first wife. So that's how they did. All right, y'all. But I appreciate y'all. Please share the video out. Like, because even the haters giving the thumbs down, y'all helping me actually get some some views on the search engine. So it really helps when you like the video. It helps when you share the video out. And that's free 99. Don't cost y'all nothing. So it really helps the channel. And like I keep telling y'all, I'm doing the channel for y'all to put this information out because it's like all the information is bottled inside me, and I keep getting more and more books and information. Oh, and also we got to get to 10K for the book giveaway too. So you share it out. People who are not subscribed, they're gonna see the videos. If they like it, they can subscribe. Ain't nobody forcing nobody. But we trying to build a tribe. We're trying to build a clan, a family up here, over here. So I'm getting this information out. Oh, I love you too, Linda. You probably family too. You probably family too. Okay, no problem, Jackson. Selena, appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. So, in the Pata language, to say goodbye, we say no. So,